Ladies and gentlemen, it is now a privilege to introduce our second keynote speaker of this conference, Ms. Chan Yuen-Ting. She will be sharing on the topic, the leadership role that coaches play. Ms. Chan Yuen-Ting is the first ever female coach to have led a professional men's soccer team to win a top flight championship anywhere in the world, an achievement which has earned herself from the Guinness Book of World Records. Under her leadership, Eastern Sports Club won the Hong Kong Premier League Championship and Senior Challenger titles in 2016 when Ms. Chan was only 27 years old. For her achievements, Ms. Chan was named the Asian Football Confederation Women's Coach of the Year. She was also honored by BBC 100 Women as one of the world's 100 most influential and inspirational women of the year 2016. She continues to equip herself with professional training in sports medicine and in coaching. The presentation will also cover some of the best practices in coaching and what coaches can do to professionalize and develop themselves to thrive in our Asian sports culture. My colleague Eliza will be the moderator for this session. You may use the Q&A icon that you can see at the bottom of the screen for any question. Ms. Chan Yuen-Ting, over to you.
Morning, everyone. I'm Chan Yuen-Ting from Hong Kong. And first of all, thanks for the Coach SG that give me this chance. I'm very happy and it's my great honor to be here and have a presentation to all of you. And I'm always happy to share my story. So just let me know if you have any questions or you want to ask something about my story, coaching in the men's team, or anything about like Asia or Hong Kong football as well. So I will start my presentation right now. Okay, so my presentation topic is the leadership role that coaches play. I'm quite sure that we have a lot of coaches here, maybe from different kind of sport. But I know that we all have our own leadership, like different characters. But we need this chance, and also the role that we play in a team. We have our players, we have our athletes. So different coaches have their different story. So my role in a men's team is a little bit different from normal. So here is my history or story. And in the afternoon session, the next session, I will talk more about my role, that how I become a head coach. But like what I said before is, I think maybe 10 years ago when I graduated from my university, I decided to join a football team as a data analyst. And then I start my football story, my football role as a coach. And in the past 10 years, I have been coaching in different kinds of football teams, like the men's team, also the women's team. And I got my different coaching license, and also I equipped myself that I took the sport medicine and health science master as well. So it bring me quite a lot of like a personal award or the team champions as well. So what I can say is like I'm very lucky because I have a lot of good opportunities to become a head coach and learn a lot of new knowledge. So the changing point that in my coaching story should be the 2015 in December, because from 2010 to 2015, I was a data analyst, also assistant coach in the men's team. And then I took my A license in 2015 as well. And then after the 3 months of the season that in 2015, the head coach left the team. So the boss suddenly appointed me as a new head coach of the Eastern Football Club. So it changed my story, and also it changed my life as well. And luckily that we got the league champion, we got the shield champion in this year. And then we got the chance to go to the highest level in the Asian football, which is the AFC Champions League. And then I start a very amazing story as well in these few years. So how I become a leader, that I will tell you what I did and my leadership role in the teams as well. But now I show you a video that it took in 2016.
當我聽到或者見到東方嘅球迷喺看台裏邊支持我啊，或者叫我個名嘅時候，我自己覺得係好開心嘅，係啦，即係冇諗過啊會，even 係一個女嘅教練都可以咁俾信任佢咯。
牛丸加油！成班球迷會支持你，一日有東方，一日都會支持你。牛丸加油！
我嘅花名就叫牛丸啦，牛就其實嚟自我嘅性格嘅，因為我由細到大個人都幾牛嘅。咁牛係咩意思咧？可能係比較固執啦。
Hong Kong girls mostly at her age, girls love shopping, making up, dating, things like that. But she's very focused in football. She loves football. What she's doing in her leisure time is all about football.
因為香港從來都未試過一個女性嘅主教練，咁所以亦都有好多球迷擔心我會唔會影響球隊嘅成績呢？亦都有好多人去評論究竟一個女教練適唔適合帶領一支男子嘅職業足球隊。我諗作為一個職業隊嘅主教練啦，我哋都需要喺更衣室裏邊工作啦，特別係比賽嘅時候。咁喺更衣室裏邊係點樣嘅呢？咁都好坦白講啦，咁我係咩都會睇到嘅，係啦。咁因為我哋都要喺裏邊做好多備戰啦，同埋開會嘅工作。咁當然球員有時都會可能比較裸露啦，或者比較臭啦、大汗味啦，或者有時都會污糟啦。
You're under the microscope a little bit more being a woman, but she's with the results she's had, winning the season last year, coming in, she's proven herself. 當上季同東方一齊贏到聯賽冠軍之後，其實個感覺係好似發緊夢咁。咁我記得最後一場贏咗南華嗰場比賽之後，我哋攞到冠軍啦。咁但係我係唔識笑，個人係呆緊嘅。咁所以側邊啲人都話：喂，你笑下啦，你會做咩？因為我仍然覺得，哇，係咪發緊夢？我唔相信呢件事會喺自己身上。究竟我自己一個女性教練會唔會令到我特別想去證明自己？其實我有冇咁嘅諗法啦？因為我覺得無論我係男嘅教練又好啦，女嘅教練又好啦，我相信我要做嘢都係做好教練應該做嘅崗位同埋責任。
So I think after this sharing the video, maybe you know me a little bit more as a woman coach, having a very great story and experience in men's team. So in my leadership role, I think there are 4 elements which is very important in my life. First of all is the teamwork, and then is the knowledge and the skills that as a coach we need to have, and also how we need to motivate our player and show them that what is our vision. So the last one will be the success and the responsibility is always like equal and fair. Okay, about the teamwork. So which is very important in my mind that before we start everything, we need to build up our team. So in the team building process, the first before the players will be the coaches team and your staff team. So it is important that to select your assistant coaches, the staff that you think they can help you. You know, in professional teams, we are not only have the head coach, assistant coach. Maybe you still have the conditioning coach. You have the video analysis. You have the marketing staff. You have the admin staff. Everything. So it's important that choose the people that they can help you and you trust, and also get the right people do the right job. in my experience, different coaches have different characters and also different strength and weakness. So some of my coaches, they come from like they were former player, they really have good experience on football, and some of them like they are good at the computer skill. So some of them is talking with the players, so which is all important for me. So just let them know that what you want them to do, and let them do something that is their strength, so they can give you the best result and effort that they can show. So for me, in my coaching team, I always choose the people that which is reliable, honest, who can really like very brave to talk with me directly. Don't think about any responsibility or criticize something like this. Just talk to me directly. I want to know what is good, what is bad. Yeah, so I don't really like the people that only tell me you're doing good, what is good players, good coaches, everything is good. It's like not real, right? So I really want to know what is happening in the team. And also as a coaches, we are always the role model in the team, so the players always looking at you, so at least we need to work hard. So sometimes we're doing good, sometimes we're doing not really good, so this is normal, but at least you show them that we're all working very very hard. And the last one I think it is important is very humble. Yeah, hungry to learn. Like in a coaching team, we have different coaches, right? So sometimes we may have different opinions, or like we show different knowledge that we have. So it is important that we try to be open mind and accept the other's decision, and also try to appreciate the effort that the others people work for you. So it is important for me to choose my coaching teams like reliable, honest, direct and real, work hard and very humble to talk with each other. So secondly, it is important, right, to choose your athlete, to choose your players. So obviously, it is like depends on your football philosophy. Some of the coaches you like football too. Some of the coaches you like play with the free center back or 4-3-3, different kind of formation. Some of you like to play combination. Some of you like to play direct. So it just all depends on your philosophy to choose your player. And also we have to understand that all the players, they have their own strength and weakness as well. So in my experience, tell me that when you choose your playing style, when you choose your formation, it really important to depends on what the players you have. If you have some players that who is good at like dribbling, attacking, so maybe your playing style can be more aggressive, something like this. If you don't have a very strong squad, maybe you have to focus more on the defending. So you have to choose a playing style that maybe like counter attack or more defensive. And also, I think most of you have this kind of considerations that how to balance the result and the development, especially when you are coaching like a young or youth team. We all want to win, right? As a coach, we always want to win, but we know that we always, especially the player, they always need to learn from the fail. When they lose some game, when they fail, so they know that what they need to improve as well. So when we are coaching some youth team, so we have to balance that the result and the development, that what you need to give them. In the youth platform, I think that the development is more important than the result. But in a professional team, the results always come first. And if you if you cannot win, you cannot give a good result, you can lose your job as well. So it is always a difficult question for all the coaches, that you have to think like how to balance these two things. And the last two things, what is important, that when you build up your team, please don't think that you can get a very good result or performance like immediately. Yeah, this kind of things, great things always take time, right? So you need to give some time to the players to develop, and they need to know what you want, what is your playing style, what is your philosophy. So just go through step by step. And this, in this period of time, you will have some difficulties. You will lose some game. You will have some challenge or criticize from the media as well. But what can you lose? What you can't lose is your belief. Yeah. So how you believe in yourself, you believe in your players, and believe in your philosophy as well. Just insist and just don't give up in this kind of period of time. So lastly is the talent identification. I think it is important in every country. So I have experience in China that, China is very big. So the scouting, the talent identification is not really good, because it's not easy to choose the good players in different cities. So they don't really have the best squad for the national team. But in Hong Kong or in Singapore, I think we are smaller and more focused. So I think it's easier to choose your player. So I always depends on the technical, tactical, physical, and mentality to choose my player and build up my team as well. So here are some photos that when I choose my player, you can see in women's team or in men's team as well, we have different kinds of players. And also the third photo is like you have to choose the best captain for the team, because they are one of the leader that who can help you to manage the players and also manage the team as well. So he is the captain of the Hong Kong national men's first team. So also is the captain in my team. So he actually help a lot. He will talk to the players. He also will come to talk to the coaches, assistant coach, that what the players think, and we always try to get a balance in between. Sometimes the contrast between the coaches and the players as well. So in the team, management is also important, that you have to build up your hierarchy, who is the senior, who is the junior, who have to listen to the instruction, or who is the leader to tell you what is your duty and your job. And everything have to be clear and effective. In my experience that in Western culture, this kind of thing is very clear. But in Asian countries, that because the culture is we always focus on the human being, we always focus on the relationship that between each other. So sometimes the duty is not really clear. So a lot of staff may help you to do this, but they don't really know their duties and the role. In my experience in China, I have a lot of coaching staff. Like I have 25 something when we are playing the Asian game in Thailand. So just for example, when I ask for a paper, so the staff A will ask the staff B get the paper, and the staff B will ask the staff C get the paper. So the staff A actually can just give me the paper directly, right? So this is something like if you cannot build up a good hierarchy, so it will not come with the effective. Yeah, it will waste time, waste the manpower, something like this. So it is important to let everyone know that what you want in their duty. So also important that in your team, you have to set your rules, if you are doing good, you have the reward. If you are doing something wrong, you have the punishment. But before this, every word in the rules, I think it is the most important, that is the education. Yeah. If the player or the staff, they are all disciplined, you don't need to always tell them what you need to do, what you cannot do. They will all know that what is professional, what they need to do as a professional player or professional coaches. So secondly is the fairness. Yeah. So I really think it is very essential in a professional men's team, because they always compare with each other. In a team, they are always competitive. They always fight for the first 11. So if you don't treat them fair, they will lose the motivation. They don't want to fight for you. They don't want to play for you. And also as a coach, you have to trust, care, and respect all the staff, not only the players, not only the coaches, but also maybe the marketing staff, maybe the equipment manager, the one who bring you the ball, the one who bring you the jersey as well. Just respect them as normal and fair. And in the football team, I believe that it is more important that we are like a family instead of a company. We have to create a very warm team atmosphere. Then they will have the fighting spirit as well. The last thing I think is not easy that as a professional team head coach, we always have to manage the boss. Yeah, the boss always want to tell you that what he want. Surely he want to win, he want the victory, but also he want a lot of things. So when you want to balance the team, the playing style, the development of some young player and the results, sometimes you have to fight with the boss, or you have to convince him like what you are doing, why you need to do something like this. And sometimes less is more. I think it is important that in some professional team, because if we all have the professional mindset, actually we all know that what we need to do, right? So if you try to talk more, you try to tell them you need to do A, B, C, D, E, F. So they think it's like quite annoying, and they lose the freedom to make their decision. But at the end, they need to make the decision on the field, right? So sometimes the instruction cannot be too much. So for me, I always remind myself that less is more. So secondly will be the motivation and the vision. So I think maybe some of the coaches that in motivation, we always have internal or external. For example, internal is like something that from the mindset of a human being. Like maybe as a striker, he really want to score, he really want to prove himself. So the external things is like maybe the contract of the club, the winning bonus that the club is going to give. So we need to know that as a coach, we need to know that what is internal, what is external. And so what can we do in the internal, or what can we do in the external? Because motivation means having the passion or the will to undertake some actions, right? So how you can help the players to motivate themselves to go for furthermore. If you don't have enough motivation, you cannot create a team spirit. You cannot tell them what they are fighting for. And also, which is the most important, is the winning mentality. They always need to know that they need to win, win, win as a professional player. So here I introduce you inverted U theory. I think you can search something more in general or in Google as well. This curve show you that arousal always decide your performance. So if we motivate them too much, the performance will get down as well. But if the motivation is not enough, the performance is not good as well. So as a coach, we have to know what is the top level of the players arousal level. So different players, they have different level, but we have to learn and we have to catch the good point that sometimes we have to give the motivation, sometimes we have to release the pressure that they have. So just like what I have mentioned, different people that they have different skills, and also different characters. So in my team, we have different players that from a lot of countries, like local players from Hong Kong. Some of us is Australian player, Brazilian player, Spanish player as well. So and also some of them, the characters, like some of them is soft, and some of them is like very tough, very strong. Sometimes they are arrogant. So my experience tell me that you cannot use the same motivation method to all the players. You have to use different kinds of method. Sometimes you have to talk with them always, like a personal interview. Some of them that what I did is I added some video clips and show them how they good, so they gain more confidence. And also in the women's team, I get some pictures that they take with their family, and we bring all the pictures to the Thailand hotel. We put it in every rooms, and just show them that you have a lot of support, play a good game, something like this. So motivation can be verbal or like by your action, like your very emotional talking, or inspire them by some words, something like this. And very important that as a coach, also especially as a head coach, you have to show your vision, show them what you are looking for, what you want to do, what is your goal at the end, so they know that we are going to the same direction and they will work hard for you. So the third one is the skills and the knowledge. So in my experience, for sure, from kindergarten, primary school, secondary school, university, we learn a lot of knowledge, right? And in nowadays, we can learn a lot of knowledge just by the internet, like this kind of online webinar. Also, just if you Google something, that it show you a lot of knowledge. But the most important as a coach is how you transfer the knowledge to be a skills, and also to be your abilities. So as a head coach, we have different kinds of skills and knowledge that we have on the field and off the field as well. So for example, on the field, you know that we need to know what is coaching, how to coach your players, and how to organize the training. I think you have the same experience that even you manage the youth team, it's not easy to organize your training, because sometimes the attendance will change suddenly, and sometimes the level of the player is not the same that what you think. So you have to change your exercise, change your training immediately in the game or in the session. So the third and the fourth one, what I think is very, very important as a coach in nowadays football. I think not only football, but I believe that you all agree that science improves the sport, right? So if you don't know how to use the sport science, if you don't know how to use the sport medicine, it creates a lot of problem for you, because it's not easy to improve the performance on the field if you don't know how to apply the sport science, like the GPS, or like the heart rate, or like how you design your conditioning program in your preseason, in the middle of the season, how what you can do in the recovery, and also how you communicate with your team doctor, the physiotherapist, how you can design your injury prevention program, right? Because you know, in professional teams, everything is about money. If the players absent one day, we lose the money one day. If the players absent 3 months from like a serious injury, we lose the players not only 3 months, but also we lose the performance, we lose the results as well. So it is very important that you prevent the injury more than you give any treatment. So I always have a very close communication with all of our physiotherapists and conditioning coach and the doctor as well. Yeah, I want to lower the injury rate as much as I can. I think in Hong Kong and Singapore, we are facing the same problem, that we don't have enough football field, right? And we have a lot of artificial football field. And when you play on the artificial turf, your injury rate is increased at least 40%. Yeah, so especially maybe women, we have the ACL problem, right? So it's not easy to manage a team that with a lower injury rate when you don't have the real turf, we don't have the grass, you don't have your training center. Yeah, so it is more important, like if you are coaching in a Western country, or when I'm coaching in China, we have a lot of football field with the grass. We have all the hardware that can help you. But in Hong Kong, I can just use the limited resource that I can use. So knowledge become more important than the hardware at this kind of moment. So the last knowledge or skills that we need to have is, as a coach, for me, is always trying to find out the problem and make change. The problem comes every seconds during the training. It's always change in the games, and also after the field still have a lot of problem is coming. So how you can solve the problem and how you can make change immediately on the field, change your training, modify your player, and substitution, change the game, something like this. So secondly is about off the field. I think some of the coaches that you have the same experience as me, we have a lot of job and duty as a coach, not only on the field, but also off the field is like very, very busy. When I finish the trainings, I always just go to the office and work until like the night time, because we have to watch the video of the training. We have to watch the games that we played and from the opponents. So we need to do a lot of video analysis, and also we have the GPS and the heart rate monitor. So there are a lot of statistics that we need to analyze, and we want the immediate report after the training. So all the coaches are busy actually, so they need to give me a lot of statistics and report after every day, every training. So we have to think or like modify or improve our training because of the training and match report. We have to decide like what is better for the players. So for example, when we see that in the last game, the defense create a lot of problem. So we need to focus more on the defense in the coming week. For example, if the physiotherapists tell me that in last week, a lot of players, they have some reaction or painful from the hamstring, okay? So we need to change the conditioning training. We need to protect the players that not training too much, not overload, but not underload, how to get the top level of the performance, something like this. So a lot of meetings in between, like meeting with the boss, meeting with the players, with the coaches every day, also with the press, with the media as well. So the skill, not only the knowledge and the skills on the field and off the field, right? The skill that we convert from the knowledge is like we need to know. I think when you take the coaching course, they always tell you what is coaching and what is planning. Planning is like very big, very how to say, very big elements in the season. That pre-season, middle of the season, and end of the season, how you prepare for the team. I always think that the end of the season is the most busy, because you have to choose your player, you have to create a new team for the new season as well. So we, as a coach, we can never stop on the for our job. Yeah, the players, they go training and then they get rest and they have their off season as well. But as a coach, we don't have our off season and we don't have our rest day. On the rest day, we are also watching the video, right? So also important that you need to know the analysis skills, which is the trend of nowadays football. You can see when you watch the Premier League, when you watch the top level football, they always show you a lot of statistics and also a lot of video. But as a coach, it's important that how you use the statistic and how you use the video for analysis. So thirdly is the team management, what I mentioned already. So communication is also very important, because as I told you, in my team, I have some players that may be under 20 years old, some players that under 30 years old, some players that 35 years old. Some of them is like from Australia, some of them from Brazil, some of them from Spain. So, different culture, you need different communication skill. So you need to talk with them like individual, and you need to observe like what they need. So the communication skill is become more important in the professional team. For example, when you talk with the When you talk to the experienced player who is 35 years old, older than me, have more experience than me, then you have to show that you respect them, and also you listen to them. You want to learn from them. For example, when you talk to players that who is just 18 years old, just become a professional player, maybe they will make a lot of mistakes. So you have to be tough. You have to let them know what is discipline, what is professional. So the tone is different, right? So another important is you have the you need to be brave to overcome all of the challenge, because we have all the challenge like every game and every day from the opponent and from ourselves as well. So we need to know how to solve the problem. And the lastly is the social media. You know, in nowadays in the society is very dangerous that a lot of things is happening in the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or the newspaper page, something like this. So sometimes they are doing something right, sometimes they're doing something wrong. So the people can just write something in the internet easily, so they don't need to bear the responsibility, right? So sometimes they give you the compliment, but also sometimes they criticize you, not only for the coaches but also criticize your players. So you need to know as a coach how to manage your social media yourself, and also tell your players, tell your staff how to manage their social media, what they need to say, what they need to avoid to do. And also sometimes we need to use our social media platform to protect our team, to protect our players, to speak for them as well. So I really like this word is for the skill and knowledge. It is like always unlimited in the world. You can keep learning every day, because as a coach, I really think that I make mistake every day. I want to learn something new every day. So gain your experience and keep learning. Just tell yourself, we are not enough. We are not good enough. Feel hungry to learn. Not only learn from the knowledge from the internet, but also learn from your coaches, your assistant coaches, and also learn from your players as well. Appreciate the effort that they make, and they can help you as well. So the last one that I want to mention is about the success and the responsibility. Yeah. So I just show you a picture that very similar, right? How to transfer your knowledge, become your skills, and become your abilities. But how can we get to like success? I think you need to have your knowledge, your skills, transfer it as your abilities, but also you need to have a good attitude. Yeah. I think as a coach, you agree that attitude decide your altitude, right? If you have a good attitude, can help you to go furthermore, higher and higher, and you finally will get the key to success. And for me, success is not only means you get the champions or you become famous, something like this. Success can be just very small, like you improve your player, the players and the parents say a thank you and appreciate your effort. You improve the performance of the team. You improve the management, the hierarchy of the club. So this all success. Yeah. So just don't focus on the result only. So in the success and responsibility, for me, it's always fair, because it's simple. You give and you take, right? But don't think that it's always like you give something, then you can take something. Especially when I start my coaching job after my graduation from university, the first 5 years, I work very hard. I give all my time. I give all the effort that I can make. But I just get a very low salary as an assistant coach and data analysis. So my family complain every day that I choose a job in Hong Kong football. Yeah, but what I think is when I give something, one day that I can gain something. right? Maybe I can gain like a title, or I can gain something that which is really helpful in my life, right? Life skill. So you think that you give the effort, right? As a coach, we give a lot of effort, we give a lot of time, we sacrifice a lot of things, we sacrifice everything, including the time with our family, including the objection from my family, including the relationship with your friends, with your partner, a lot of people. So you have to sacrifice really a lot of things to be to be a coach. But also, if you are doing good job with a good attitude, maybe one day you can get a champion. Maybe you can get the bonus. You can get the compliment from the social media or from the people, right? But also, don't always just think you take something good. It also come with something negative, right? As a coach, if you can, we cannot have like all the games win. We cannot have the best performance like in every game. So you know the fans that, or you know the media that they can easy to criticize or complain to you easily and everything. So you have to prepare that you will receive a lot of criticism, and sometimes it's a shame, right? But the picture that I want to show you is the moment that I take the pictures, which is really the best moment of my life, because our team is playing the AFC Asian Championship, the ACL game, which is the highest level football in the Asia. So the head coach of the opponent is the Evergrande Guangzhou of China. So the head coach is Scolari. He was the head coach of Brazilian national team. So you know he's very very famous. He is one of the best head coach in the world. He's like top level. It's like my role model. So I was very nervous and happy that I can play with him. But also in that game, we have two red cards in first 30 minutes. And finally, we lose the game 7-0. Yeah, it's a big shame in the ACL games because we play against the champion of China, Japan, and Korea. Yeah, so be honest, it's very a big hit of my team. I received a lot of complaint, criticize. I feel like ashamed of the team for myself as well, and I always prepare that I can lose my job like every moment. But be honest, after the ACL games, me and also my players, we really learn a lot and a lot. We know the level of the Asian football is very high. We know that we are not good enough, and we try to motivate ourselves to learn more, to work harder and harder. So this is always come with good and bad from your experience. Success is not easy, but success always come from the fail. Yeah, I just mentioned success always come after the fail, right? I have a lot of mistake, and I experience a lot of fail as well in my life, in my coaching life. But at the end, I got a chance to be a head coach, and I try to work hard and try to achieve the goal that what I think. But after a few years of the head coach, I also moved to China, become coach in the women's team. So I want to explore more something new and try to reach another success in my life. So always try to prepare, because be honest, when I was just an assistant coach in a team, I I think that being a head coach is my dream of my life, but I never think that it will come so early. And I always tell myself that it will, the opportunities may never come to my life as well, but I need to always prepare. That's why I take all the coaching course as early as possible. I finished my AFCA license in 2013. And also I take the sport medicine and health science master, because I think that one of my weakness is like I was not a professional player. I don't have a player's experience. So what I need to have, what I need to strengthen myself is my knowledge, my skills. So I try to equip and prepare myself as always, and just wait for one opportunity, just wait for one chance. And in 2015, I got it, and I try to catch it. And for the mindset, so be honest, really, never give up. I know that everyone can say that easily. Oh, never give up, do your best. But it's not easy that to show it in your behavior and by your action as well. Because as a leader in the team, even we lose a 7-0, on the other day we come back, we had to heads up. We need to show them that, show your players, show your staff that we still have hope. We'll learn a lot, and we will become more and more successful. So lastly is the braveness, right? What I can tell you is I experienced a lot of challenge, obstacle, and fail as well. So if you are not brave enough to accept these kind of things, you will just lose yourself easily. But you are brave to accept all the things, then you can be more tough, and you are good to face all the challenge in the coming days. If you've overcome something very difficult, so in the future, all the difficulties come with you, you just think that it is easy. So the last thing I want to remind is the champion. So what I mentioned already, champion is not only the way that we get to the success, but also the little things can help you to be success. So the last conclusion for you is leadership is not a position or a title. It's not about the title that we are coach, or we are head coach, or we are the manager, but it is an action and example. So I always think that action speak louder than your words. So show your players, show your staff, show everyone that you are working hard, you have a good attitude. So all the things that will lead you, will help you become the real leader in your team. Yes, so thank you very much. Thanks for listening to me, because I always speak very quickly. Sorry if I caused any problem. And now just give me some question, or you want to ask something, you want to know more from my side of the field.
Okay, thanks so much, Yuen-Ting, for your very inspiring and very personal sharing. I think certainly from the comments that I'm receiving and I'm seeing, a lot of coaches are quite motivated. So we have about 5 questions coming in, and for the rest of you who would have some burning questions, just hit the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen, and we'll definitely select some questions to ask. So we have about 10 minutes to be asking some of the questions. So definitely, I think a common question that some of the coaches are curious about is, what would you say was the biggest challenge for you in your coaching journey, or maybe even when you first became the head coach of Eastern? Yeah, so maybe you can answer that first.
Yeah, sure. I think because I joined the football team after the university graduation. So the biggest challenge for me is about my future at the moment, the first 5 years. Because as I mentioned that for the first few years that I was data analysis and assistant coaches, I don't really have a good salary. And also that everyone in Hong Kong sometimes always talking about you don't have the future when you work in Hong Kong football. So my family really complain a lot, and in between I really have a lot of argument with my family, and even some of my friends try to convince me to leave football and try to get another job, because according to my academic result in my secondary school and university, my result is quite good. So everyone expect me I will have a very good job, good salary, good welfare, and good future, right? But I choose a very different way from my friends, from my from my friends and from my classmates as well. And really, be honest, I work in field football club, right? the main reason is because the boss just quit the club suddenly. So as a staff, we always just suddenly lose our job. So it's really a big challenge in my life, because even you work very hard, you sacrifice a lot of time and all of your attention, but you still can lose your job. So I experienced 3 times in my life, like when I work in the TS Pegasus and the boss leave and we lose our job. So something like this. So every time I try to think, should I continue on the coaching job, or should I just quit and go to get another job in the government or in some company? So before I become the head coach of Eastern in that year, I have the same experience as well. So honestly, that in this year, I just open the computer, and with my cell phone, I try to find a new job like without football. But I was lucky. Every time when I almost quit football, someone will call me and give me another job opportunities. So it is some things about like never give up, right? If you try to do something you want and you feel happy with the job, then just try to keep on. Yeah, so this is the one of the biggest challenge. The second challenge is like after I become a head coach, the main challenge is like how to handle the pressure from the players and also from the media, because I do believe that a lot of people, they have the same question. How can a woman become a head coach? And we all want, we think that Eastern is a big club, so they are going to get the champion. They need to win all the games. So now you have like a not very experienced woman coach in the team. So how this coach can help the team? Something like this. Yeah. So it's not easy to manage all the pressure. But at the moment, I know that even I talk a lot of things, I speak to all of the people that is not going to convince them, right? So what I can do is just work harder and harder. I show them that I have the abilities to help the team, and I'm lucky that once I become the head coach, we have 8 games straight win. So I really gain a lot of confidence, and I build up the trust and the relationship between myself and the players and also the press as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Yuen-Ting. Yeah, so I think that your sharing kind of leads nicely to the next category of questions.
Yeah, a little
where,
bit.
yeah, where I think what coaches are asking, as we all know, in I think the coaching world, the percentage of male coaches is way higher than female coaches, especially in high performance sport. So I think what would be an advice that you would give to female coaches who aspire to be successful at the highest level of their sport, and how can we also encourage more female coaches to come forward, especially for high performance?
Yeah, I think I really agree that we don't really have a lot of female coaches, right? We all need some opportunities. Yeah. So for all the people that I hope that you can believe in women coaches and give the opportunities. But as a woman coaches, we need to prepare and equip ourselves before the opportunities come to you. So that's why I will always talk about fair, but fair is not same as equal. So we are not asking like we need to have the same thing like woman coach percentage and the man coach percentage, but we have to be fair. Like if we can show our ability, if we can show that we are good, if we can show that we can help the team, then we deserve the opportunities, right? So, but before the opportunities come to you, just prepare, and also your mindset very important is just don't give up. Yeah, I'm sure that in nowadays world, Hong Kong and Singapore is quite similar. I believe that men and women, we have like equal opportunities in the society, right? So maybe it's like easier than some of the Asian countries, like the Middle East, Iran, something like this. So we are lucky that we are living in Hong Kong and we are living in Singapore. Yeah, just try to always do your best, equip yourself, prepare yourself, and wait for the opportunities, and just don't give up because of something happened or something challenged to you. If you are doing good job, then someone will see and someone will appreciate you and give you the opportunities at the end. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so okay, I'm going to ask maybe about 2 to 3 more questions, given that we have
Okay.
about 5 minutes left. This question came from one of our ex-national team captain of the football
Wow,
team.
wow.
I think, yeah, just now you kind of shared that when you played at the AFC, the highest league, your team lost 7-0. So I think as coaches, definitely there'll be times that we face a much better team and our team lose by quite a big margin. So as a coach, how do we then motivate our players after that kind of loss? Yeah. What would be the advice that you would give?
Yeah, it's a very good question. It's always the biggest challenge in a team that I always think that a good team doesn't mean that they don't have the bad time, but a good team always with a less bad time because they have coaches, they have the players to come back quickly and motivate themselves quickly. So after the setback like 7-0 or even like 6-1 I experienced in the Asian Games, be honest, I was very sad and I feel very stressful as well because everyone is looking at me, especially all the media, the fans, right? So after this game, I remember that I didn't eat anything and I couldn't sleep until the next morning. I went to the gym and I run like 1 hour, 2 hours, something like this. And what is important is first of all, you have to face the problem. Yes, just don't avoid that something is happening. Just face that, we are failed. We are having some problem. We are not good enough. And you try to find out the problem, but just don't see too much about the Facebook, about the newspaper. Yeah, just watch the games, watch your players, what is happening. So find out the problem, and in the next day, have a good team talk with your players. Let them know what is happening and let them know what we need to do in the coming stage. Because we don't have time to be disappointed. We don't have time to be sad. We don't have time for the beer. But we only have a very short time that we have to come back and go back to the Hong Kong Premier League and win the next game, or we lose the local league as well. So for myself, I will evaluate, watch the game, and also see the problem and talk with the players individually, especially the captains, and ask them how to help the players as well. And in the next training, I will try to reduce the intensity and let them feel okay, relaxed training, happy, really have a really have a recovery mentally and physically. Maybe some shooting exercise, let them get better confidence, and then don't talk too much about the last game as well. It's finished. Yeah, just focus on the next game. Yeah, something like this.
Thank you. Okay, I think we'll have a final question.
Okay.
Where there are some questions surrounding the importance of the use of sports science. If we don't really use sports science, how important is sports science compared to maybe the other factors that you have shared in sport, and what also led you down the path of data as a data analysis. So I think that will be the final question before we call this to a close. The other questions will actually be answered during her breakout session in more detail, like what would be the differences between male and female, coaching a male and female team. That she will be touching on it in the next breakout session.
Yeah. So first of all, I believe that all the coaches agree that sports science is improving football, right? So that's why you have this question. And I really understand that if you are coach in the youth team, we don't really have a lot of money or equipment or hardware resource to do the sports science, right? It's normal in Hong Kong as well. So in youth team, we seldom have the heart rate monitor or the GPS, something like this, but we still can use the sports science to help our training. For example, when I was the data analysis, I learned something. Okay, when you want to have a physical test, right? It's better that you have the speed gauge. You count like 10 meters, 20 meters. But also, if you don't have the speed gauge, you also have your watch, right? You have your watch to help. And maybe just don't count 10 meters. You try to count 30 meters. Secondly, you can use the yo-yo test. Yo-yo test, you just need a cell phone and a speaker. Then you can do it. So physical tests help you a lot because then you know the condition of your players. You know what is overload and underload sometimes. And especially after an injury of a player, if he can come back with the level that the physical test he did in the preseason, that means he can really return to play. So physical test is very important as well. So secondly, if you don't have the heart rate monitor, you can use just your fingers, right, to help, like 10 seconds, how many beeps for the heart rate. So before we brought the heart rate monitor, we use this as well in a professional team. So, you know, like a small side game, 4v4, 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, immediately 10 seconds. And then the next four, and then someone will try to record. I did it as well. Someone will try to record immediately, and then you go back, put it in the computer, then you can have your report as well. So I know that if we don't have the resource or money, it's not easy to use all of the sports science, but you can still try to apply your knowledge, like with the limited resource. So for example, if you cannot buy the software of the video analysis like the Longomatch, Sportcode, scouting software in the world, so you can just use your MacBook iMovie, some video cutting software in the Google or online. You can just use this easily in nowadays the world. So for me, it's not a big problem. Yeah, I know that you cannot do everything perfect, but try to use the resource that you have. Yeah.
Hi.
Can I answer the question or still have something that I missed?
Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, sorry if the connection might be a bit lagging on my end. Okay, yeah. So thanks everybody for coming to this session. And before you leave, we'll be sharing the Mentimeter feedback for you to fill in for the session. Okay, so could I get maybe the tech support to share the slides from your end? And also, as they are sharing the slides, I think I just got a few announcements to make. Okay, after this would be the breakout sessions that will commence at 10:45. Okay, and at 10:45, you need to enter the breakout session in the virtual platform. Just exit this session and then click on the breakout room, and you will see your registered session there. And then you can begin from there. Okay, in the meantime, give me a minute. Let me try to share my screen. All right, can everybody see my screen? Okay. All right, so please scan the QR code over here, www.menti.com, and type the code 3326 337. But if not, you can just whip out your phone, scan the QR code. Okay, so just I'll give you about 1 minute to do so. Right, everybody got it? Okay, so as for the announcements, as I mentioned earlier, after this would be the next round of breakout sessions at 10:45. So do take that virtual break and then enter your next breakout room at 10:45. And then after that would be lunch at 12:15. So do go and network for the sessions. Click on the exhibition booth just to take a look at what's going on. And after at 2:30 would be the individual panel discussions and I Coach Pledge and all. Okay, so have a good break and we'll see you at the individual breakout rooms at 10:45. See you.